And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Minnesota Vikings. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Ndamukong Suh able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Detroit! Now let's go!
The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage...
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
He'll take it at the 42. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Come on, let's go! What? 90! What? 90! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Hut!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Detroit! Detroit!
They begin on the ground with Kamara. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Lauletta now on 2nd. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And all the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for Seattle. 47 yards. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lauletta. On the check down, he finds Kamara. Now the ball comes loose, and the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And that goes for a gain of 31. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Hundley. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Here we go. What? 90.
Throwing, Hundley. The Conley's got it over the middle. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Hundley now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Justin Ellis breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. James has got it, complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On play action, they'll throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now they go for it on 4th down, but that pass is knocked away and incomplete.
Now, that's just simply good coaching and excellent technique on that play. You know why? Because everyone wants to rush the passer when they want to throw the football, but you're not always going to get there. So what are you taught to do? When the ball's finally thrown, get your hands up in the passing lanes, and they batted that one away.
No. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with to have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, hey, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Lauletta to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A first update now from Cincinnati, and the Bengals out to the early advantage. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Flex round! Flex round!
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Caught here by Conley. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw here. And almost intercepted. It would have been his 2nd pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. There is no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And his kick is good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air, Lauletta on 2nd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. He's got daylight. 20. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. A shotgun snap to Lauletta. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. Parkey with the extra point. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A dump down to McKinnon. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll make it 2nd and short.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A very solid gain of 27.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Back to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Let's go! White, 90! White, 90! Ohio! Ohio!
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And he's able to bring it out 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Here's Lauletta after the interception. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Check 4.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, here's Lauletta. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And the Vikings now heading on to the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Well, they worked this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Grady Jarrett able to get him for a loss of about 3.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
He'll drop to throw. Throw to St. Brown, complete on the left side. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Buying time to his left. Only able to get it to his own 20 after breaking through the contact. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And the Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Detroit! Detroit!
The 10th carry for Kamara. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
He finds McKinnon, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Now a play fake here on first down. Flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw it back deep. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Now Hundley. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Lauletta on 3rd and goal. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Ohio! Ohio!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to rifle one and got his man complete. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing, Hundley. Conley's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Hey, I'm all about defense forcing plays and getting takeaways. But an interception and 2 fumbles in their last 3 offensive possessions.
Time to readjust.
Yeah, you can't just give all the credit to the defense on that. They've got to look in the mirror and take a blame themselves and figure out how to not do it anymore.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the ball is going to wind up out of bounds, so they will lose yardage, but they'll keep the football.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
On 2nd down, here's Lauletta. Flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Detroit! Detroit!
This is third and long. Here's Lauletta. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Troy Apke, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Ohio! Ohio!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Ohio! 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 Ohio!
They'll look to throw now on first down. And too much on that one. It's out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. That'll bring up second down. Looking to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Now back to throw. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Gerald McCoy in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will knot us up at 10. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
From the 22, here's second and 8.
Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Throwing on 3rd down, Lauletta. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Ohio! Ohio!
They go play action here on first down. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Equanimous St. Brown, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Here's Lawletta. On the check down, he finds Kamara. A big play that time for the Seahawks. And even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Lawletta fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Lawletta looking to throw on 2nd down. And the pressure gets to him again. J.J. Watt in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A shotgun snap to Lawletta. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Got a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. He'll look to throw. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And able to find Conley. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Back to throw here. A dump down to McKinnon. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll set up to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Lauletta. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Lauletta. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lauletta. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And now it's 2nd down.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacting to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing, Hundley. Caught left side, Williams. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup after the penalty, 12 yards, and it's 2nd down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Hundley. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play. The one that they got on the previous one, they tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Flushed out right. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Again, he'll drive to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
Ohio! Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
They're going to look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
to throw. Hard throw, incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
But from a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Steps away to his left. Funches with a catch over the middle. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Flush to his right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Nice job there defensively. A great time to dial up a blitz.
And give him credit under center instead of throwing it away. Actually, a pretty good job of getting past the line of scrimmage, not losing yardage.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Lawletta. On the check down, he finds Kamara. They'll give him a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Lawletta, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Here's Lawletta. And that is incomplete. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. That one looks like he'll throw here. It's complete to Williams. Oh, and now he pulls him over. Touchdown, Vikings. Tyrell Williams, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Lauletta. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jarrett Davis in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. The Seahawks on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be 3rd and 15.
Lucky 56. Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. Defensively, there's still 3 timeouts. Do you even need to use them at this point?
I think a lot of coaches do it anyway, and it seems like cosmetics to us.
Does it just send a message you're not quitting?
Send a message that you're not quitting. Let your team know you're going to battle all the way, and you're always hoping for that ultimate miracle that something will happen, you'll pick up the ball and score, and you'll have a chance one more time and maybe on an onside kick, but not likely.
Toss play to McKinnon, and he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
That's it, baby. That's it. Big hit.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve.